violence, antisocial 6, repeated violations of the Permanent Emergency Code, insolence, defiance, disregard of authority.
This part isn't about the virus at all, is it? It's about following orders. About doing what you're told.
The Permanent Emergency Code.
Part isn't about the virus at all.
The Permanent Emergency Code.
It's about following orders.
The Permanent Emergency Code.
About doing what you're told.
The Permanent Emergency Code.
Fuck the bozos.
Hello, gentlemen. How are you this fine evening? It looks like we may or may not have people watching already, like 10 of them. Wow. Turn the chat on to the correct chat. There we go. All right.
How long did it take you to put that together? That's what I want to know.
Well, that was back during COVID, so probably 2 hours. Well, I think the big problem was I didn't have like a digital copy of any of the footage.
Right. Okay.
And so I had to like pirate it from YouTube. I think I had to pirate the whole movie and then watch the whole movie because I couldn't remember like all those parts I knew were in there because it's one of my favorite movies. And I was like, man, where is that part where it talks about this? And then I had to go steal pictures of, you know, the random fucking tyrants.
Forgive me and blame my parents. What movie was that?
12 Monkeys.
Oh, wait, is that?
I've never seen it actually, but I know what it is.
Was that the one that Bruce Willis was in?
Bruce Willis, Brad Pitt.
Okay. I have seen that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's
like,
one of my favorite movies of all time. And it is
cool
certainly Brad Pitt's pinnacle of acting.
Mm-hmm.
And he's good. He's a good actor like pretty much all the time. And that is the tops. All right, let's see if I can't overlay the chat. Show on the where does it put us? That works. Work for you guys?
There it is.
All right.
Garrett. Matson's here. Hello, sir.
Max, Adam, Jason, Javier, Rich Elby. What's up, guys?
Oh, Max appreciates my intro, all that work I put into it.
Max is he appreciates a lot.
Both of you had horrible childhoods. He's talking about you two.
No, I saw that actually like in the past year, but it was one of those like I can't fall asleep. I'm putting a movie on movies for me, but it was good when I was watching it. I need to watch it again.
We're gonna watch it again when you're up here.
Good.
It has some poignant moments about, well, it's about control and doing what you're told and not about the virus. Very fitting for, you know, recent history. All right. So I should say before we get going, tonight's live chat is brought to you by Ammo Supply Warehouse, a friend of everybody in this live stream. They are located right there in the background. You can use the coupon code TREMIS10 for $10 off any order over $100. I do believe there's another coupon code about to drop right now.
Bulletin 11 will save you $11 off any order over $100.
There you go. And there's an even better one, but that dude ain't on the live chat tonight, so we're not giving him any props. Also, our co-sponsor tonight, located above them, 5 Rivers Armament, best gun shop in Southern PA. And if you buy a Tremis Dynamic Signature Rifle,
it's not Southern PA, it's Eastern.
Well, it's below Interstate 80. In the Piedmont Plateau, best shop in the Piedmont. If you buy a Tremis Dynamic Signature Rifle from Midwest Industries and you do the transfer at 5 Rivers, they will do the transfer for free. Likewise, when you buy that rifle, if you use the coupon code TREMIS, you can get nearly $200 off the rifle too when you buy it direct from Midwest. So there are our sponsors for this evening. All right. Anybody you guys want to give a shout out to? You might as well hijack my chat since it's on your channels as well. And if you want to say thanks to someone, here's your chance.
Go for it,
Yeah.
Avery.
Iron Pig Armament, Turtle. He's an alumni of both myself and Gary. Man, I really froze up right now. I can't even tell.
No, you're good.
Okay, because you guys were, your pictures were still for a second. But yeah, Turtle with Iron Pig Armament. I first met him in a Tremis Dynamics class, and then seen him in passing, coming to and from different classes, and now he's training with me as well. And this is his hat. That's his logo. I will point at the wrong side probably the rest of the time. We just put out the Pig 9, and it's basically like the combat art version that's available on his site now. And I just took the Pig 9 and was like, I like this furniture. This is how I would do it. He was like, cool, we'll do that. And I'll be doing some videos on that. I already got a video up about it, but he's a good dude. And use discount code Combat Art with Iron Pig Armament.
Awesome.
Nice.
And then also Defying Munitions, I think has 9mm available right now. So
Oh shit.
What? Not gonna soon.
And the coupon code Tremis will save you 10%.
Nice.
So I don't know if you guys are aware. I'm the only coupon code Defiant has that doesn't have a number at the end of it.
oh really?
Yeah, he usually would do like whatever the coupon code was, and then the year,
Yep.
and then every year he'd renew it. And he took my expiration off of mine and said, "Let's just skip the year because we're never not going to have a coupon code for you." So we got rid of all the numbers.
believe I have one too, but that is there is a number after mine. So it's well, apparently mine was also included in a fraud case at some point, which was really weird. But
What the heck?
yeah, like some like entity like made like a huge order, and it used my discount code for bulletin for Defiant Munitions, and it like screwed over their like, you know, their billing and stuff. So
Oh jeez.
yeah, I was like, sorry, like I don't know what to say. Like, hey, at least they heard about you.
I'm glad I pushed the thieves right over to you.
Whoops.
I'm
I
like,
have a plug before we move on, though. If anybody is interested, we are holding a giveaway over on the Ride Along EMT podcast channels to win one of these, an X shear pair of shears. We're doing a big giveaway for that to announce our sponsor of X shears on that podcast, which is growing and doing quite well. It's in the top 25% of podcasts right now. So if you're interested in the medical stuff, you should go over and check out the Ride Along EMT podcast.
Yes, you should absolutely do it. Not only is Mike the main star of the podcast, one of the on-screen personalities, as well as the driving force behind it. He also brought that other guy over, whatever his name is, Minimum or something.
Max,
Max, that's it. I know it was Min Max. And I know he's in the chat here somewhere. And Jonathan Aldridge is on it, who is a treasure trove of knowledge.
He is the driving force for real. Like, you know, if you're actually looking for true usable smart content, he's the one that we listen to.
Well, I gave you the credit because you're the one that puts all the behind the scenes work in.
Oh, that's for sure. But like, you know, especially for anybody watching the podcast, because we do it on YouTube too, or we put the video up on there. You know, Jonathan's definitely the draw of the three of us.
Well, he's. I mean, I like you guys all right too, but if I want to listen to someone and learn shit, I go to Jonathan as well. So
yeah. But we got lots of stuff going over there. Oh, and shirts too. We just got some swag in, some merch. So if you're interested in supporting the podcast, we have some new Firehouse t-shirts available for the podcast.
Man, it'd be really cool if that logo was in the middle.
Nah, they're always on the left side for the
Yep,
fire.
the grandpas. Yep,
Hmm.
put it right on that pocket.
Yep.
Josh
I say that
DeWalt.
and I'm wearing somebody's shirt who has the logo on the left.
Uh-huh.
It's not my shirt. I don't have any shirts that do that. My fucking microphone fell off. See if I can-
Josh DeWalt. Who is this?
Who is this?
Garrett Matson is asking, do you have a practical drill that is always in your training rotation?
Yes. So for me, it is a bold and cold. There's always the first drill I do every time I go to the range to do any of my own practice. And other than the very first day of classes that I teach, like day one of like dynamic pistol, it isn't the first drill because I don't even know if they can draw the gun yet, but it is the first drill of day 2 and day 3 and all the further on days. It always starts with a bolt and cold.
For me, small dot drills are usually my go-to. I may not do the full regiment of like 1 shot on the top row, 3 in the middle, and 5 on the bottom, just because sometimes I don't want to waste 45 rounds. But I try to, every time I go to the range, work on some sort of movement. So a bold and cold is usually like, I didn't want to use the same answer, but that's always my first drill. And I try to always add some sort of accuracy in there, whether or not it's a small dot drill or a samurai drill, which usually involves some accuracy in it.
What is the bowling cold again? I'm trying to remember.
First drill of the day, so it's cold. Explode off the X while moving laterally. Put shots in the heart of your bad guy when your feet stop moving. A brain shot.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, I like to do like 7-ish yards, 2 brain shots, and it's draw 4 diagonal movement. I like to do it to this side and then this side, and 2 brain shots. And like, not done until I've gotten good movement with 2 good brain shots. And then I like to shoot the test 10 yards, 10 rounds, 10 seconds on a B8, 2-handed, and then with each hand.
Nice. I know Garrett has said very nice things about us in his comments so far. I didn't want him to think that those didn't go unnoticed, and I appreciate the kind words, good sir.
Yes, me too.
It's mutual. He's the best.
Mm-hmm.
The best what?
The best student. Like he
I was
is.
waiting to see what you were. I was putting you on the spot, so you'd be like, "I just meant like the best dude."
I mean, it's so funny when like we took that Kestrel online class together, and it wasn't until later in the day when he texted me. He's like, "Dude, it was great seeing you in that Kestrel class." I'm like, "What?" I had no yeah, I mean, it was like, what is it, 60 people in that online class, and like I couldn't even see the whole list, and I didn't read all the names, and I was like, "Dude, we could finally say we've been in another class together," because I haven't seen him since like, I don't know, when I took something at Tactical Response like 8 years ago.
Tom Hollyby moved somewhere. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he switched profiles.
Oh,
to Ashigaru Defense versus.
Oh, Zach Bush dropped by. What a other great instructor.
Zach is, I believe, going to. Is it Kentucky this weekend?
He's going to Minnesota pretty soon.
No, oh yeah, never mind. I should know this. I have a website that tells me these things.
Yeah, I grew up in Minnesota, so he was asking me about places, and I was basically like, "Yeah, but it's probably a fucking shithole now, you know." Like every place I said.
Pick a spot. It's full of Somalis. I did see that Adam Hall asked if I was carrying a gay pride flag, and yeah. It's the one that came in the Tremis signature gun, because apparently there's like a federal law you have to sell every firearm with a gay pride flag. So and that it's sitting over there. I took it out, obviously, and now it's sitting here on this table. So
Did you see that picture I was sharing of the state trooper in Florida responding to an active shooter with it still in his gun?
Yep. Safety first.
Yeah.
And last.
And last thing we did was be safe. All right. So what else did we have to throw out there that we had to chat about before we get into the meat and stuff? Like we were doing the shout outs, and I still have some raffle tickets for that rifle over there.
Oh,
There's the link. Once all the tickets are gone, I think there's 8 of them left. Then I'm going to do the raffle online. There's a Glock 19, a Tremis signature rifle, rifle class, a pistol class, couple holsters. Zach says no Kentucky, no more classes for 2025. Scheduling 2026 stuff now.
nice.
Same here.
We
I
were
am
just, yeah.
wrapping up my 2026 fucking schedule. Like there's a lot of shit like through June already up there, other than one important one, and mine will be done.
Well, it's
Well,
a shame that Zach isn't having more classes here because I got to sit in. I don't think it was his inaugural, but he did a couple of modules for the active shooter stuff at the Combat Art Summit. Talk about because that was a good time.
Oh yeah.
The active shooter presentations that he had were fantastic. Like they were the best active shooter things I've been in so far because it broke it down into very simple, very clear, very poignant points about active shooters and common trends. And really, I mean, hopefully I'm not stealing any thunder from him. I hope people go see his presentations and take his active shooter course, which I'm looking forward to whenever he offers the full thing. The kind of, you know, takeaway of you only have 30 seconds was it just burned into my brain. Like that's it. You have 30 seconds. There are no other choices. You have to act within 30 seconds. So Zach put out some awesome stuff.
Well, that's because he's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed out. I missed it because I was out teaching. For hands-on urban conflict training? No, thank you. The only time I like to go north of the Mason-Dixon line is to go to PA.
I can't fault you a whole lot there. All right, so I have a list of things to actually talk about. The biggest one is, and Adam Hall asked if we're getting 3 books of the week because there's 3 people on the live chat. I have my book of the week ready, so if you guys need some time to fucking hurry up and Google what you want to share, here's your chance. Or not, and whatever. But the big thing we want to talk about, and it isn't the books of the week, I wanted to give that the heads up, is that Andrew will be here shortly for some classes. And we want to talk, Mike and I are doing a class here in a couple days, and then there's some follow-ons in that series of stuff and that theme. So we're going to talk about those the most because training's way cooler than all the other shit. So Andrew, when are you going to be here? So what's the first thing you got coming up? I'm going to share links here. You just got to let me get down and get the links. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so Friday, the 17th of October, we're doing rifle cheat codes. And then the 18th and 19th, we're doing patrolling the homestead. Finally, we're doing patrolling the homestead up there. So patrolling the homestead, you don't actually need ammo. That being said, go ahead and bring ammo because I'm sure we'll have time to put in a live fire drill. But usually it's not a thing where we do live fire in it. It's more about patrolling and how to plan it, how to conduct it, how to do the formations, hand and arm signals, and there's a lot of classroom, then practical application, classroom, practical application. So it's here's a thing in the why in the classroom, and then we go do it. And then we just stack them on as we go. And then by the end of it, dudes are patrolling on their own pretty well. And usually got a final exercise or two where it's basically on them to figure it out, but not really a shooting class. So
that makes it affordable.
Yeah.
And if you want to get your shoot on, that's what Friday's for.
Yeah, but if you want to bring ammo to the patrolling class, anyways, like you should, and we may throw in some live fire stuff too.
Nice.
And Max is in here. He's taking it. I saw earlier Mark Curtis. He's taking it. Not sure who else in here is taking it already, but yeah. And then rifle cheat codes. Hit the target, but like the thing I say with rifle is that rifles are actually pretty easy to shoot, but they're harder to be maneuverable with and harder to keep running. And so it's I don't really do malfunctions in that class, but it's heavy on how to be maneuverable with it. And actually, I'll give credit to Gary because some of the things I learned in dynamic rifle with him, I kind of went full autism with, and that's what rifle cheat codes became. And I was like,
awesome.
I was like, whoa, these concepts are really good. So it's kind of like if it were to like put our classes together, it'd be like mine would be like the performance augment to it. I would say is a good way to put it.
Awesome.
And and there's some there's some fun things in there that will definitely be new to a lot of people, even if they have trained with Gary and taken dynamic rifle before.
Well, I am going to take cheat codes as a regular old student and only step out of that student role if you need me to, like, hey, go watch that guy because he's unsafe, or help that girl get her gun working, please.
Set that car on fire.
Well, I'd like that car on fire.
Oh, that actually is a plan on a thing we're
we were discussing that.
Lighting cars on fire was a thing.
It is.
When is it not? Like
that's co-instructing. I'm gonna use these guys to help me out, and I have to look at the curriculum and figure out what spots I specifically want them to do. But I mean, also otherwise, it was like originally I wrote the whole thing, so
he doesn't really need us, but I'm sure he'd like to not have to do everything the whole time.
Yeah,
and he offered to help.
Yeah. And I think, Mike, you're going to do some GPS stuff, right?
During the patrol in the homestead?
Yeah. Would you throw some of that into it? I think I'm like,
he may have mentioned that to everyone. I may not have mentioned that to you, Mike.
Oh, okay. I think I may have talked to everyone but you about doing that.
I would be happy to. Yes.
Okay, cool.
When I spoke for you, that's what I said as well. But I said, hey, we're doing like some land nav stuff beforehand, and he's like, oh, like Mike could put some of that in there, and I was like, yeah, I'm sure he'd love to. And then like at that point the box was checked. Mike agreed.
At least I know now, instead of like the day of, you're like, so you're going to teach that block of instruction on GPS? Sure.
Hey, Garrett said pistol cheat codes is a great class, lots of great information. AAR has been done. Yeah, he has one posted. I'm actually gonna post that AAR to the page for that, so anyone who's heard about that class or taken it. Rifle cheat codes is very, very similar. However, we're able to cover the information in one day. I'm not big on like like we're gonna make it a 2-day class so we can make it a 2-day class. I'm like, y'all know what to practice at the end of class.
I'm a big fan of the 1-day class format.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. So much that I'm retiring multi-day classes.
Yeah.
I have a couple that I have milling around. They haven't come to fruition yet, but like I have there's so much in some topics, but I'm trying to figure out ways to break it up into more digestible classes. So it's not like, hey, you have to take a 2-day class. It's more like we have blocks that.
Yeah. Kind of like with fish.
Yes.
Like let's break it down so that we can do them in single days.
Yeah. Or offer one in the middle of something if that's all you have time for, or if you have requests for it.
And Adam Hall asked, does patrolling the homesteads still have the non-light / NVG part. Yes, there is a night patrol. So we go late on the first day, and I'm not trying to have everyone patrol all night because I want everyone to be able to be a good student the next day and also have a good attitude the next day. So, but yeah, we do a low light patrol, and those have been pretty fun. Especially when we've done them in areas where we weren't supposed to be patrolling. So there was actually like a reason to do a good job.
Well, we have lost a lot of the third-party foot traffic where we will be doing this. The coal companies that gave us permission to use the property have now gated off everything so that it isn't full of hundreds of people on quads and side-by-sides.
Now it's with dozens.
Yeah, we're in dozens instead of hundreds.
The ones on dirt bikes that can just move around the gates. They
go wherever they want. For those that are listening in, I did share links to both of Andrew's classes in the comment section. So if you want to sign up for them and want to scroll back, there is a clickable link in the comments. I will add some more I'll add them again before we're done too. So if you want to wait till the end, in fact, I just added one of them now because I'm a nice guy.
Oh, and also for the low light patrol, night vision is not a requirement. Like, if you did grab a group of dudes like that you're friends with, not all of them are going to have night vision. So it's like whoever's got it, we just position them the best we can for the patrol.
Well, I will say this: if your friends don't have night vision, you need some better friends. Man, that almost sounds like I'm a guy that sells night vision. I wish I did.
I don't wish we sold night vision. It's a really hard market to sell in.
True. I have convinced a lot of people to buy it. I just didn't make anything off of it.
Yeah, it's only you guys were affiliates for night vision.
Did you guys see that new digital? It's like $500 and it's got, I think, 100 frames per second. It actually looks like it's getting close now.
It's
digital.
The digital night vision I try to follow this as much as I can because I think that the idea of the affordability and the capability stuff is like super important to keep a finger on the pulse for. Mm-hmm. Especially for students that are just like, I really want to get into this type of stuff. It's so close. Like I would even say, because I've tried the Opsin like from Psionics at SHOT Show, and it's really good. Like I wouldn't necessarily trust like my life to it just because I have a value set of like, I need this level of criteria, and like battery life is that level of criteria. But with the larger battery packs now and some of the efficiencies with the way those digital night vision things are working, they just came out with one. It's not the Opsin. It might be the one that you're talking about. I forget what the brand is, but it's like it basically pairs everything off of it. It's literally just night vision. Like there's no internal recorder. There's no internal compass. There's no, like, it doesn't have any of the extra stuff, and it's literally just slimmed down as much as possible. And I think they were saying that with the battery pack, with that battery pack and an extra battery pack, you can get a full night's activity.
Oh, wow.
But when I'm talking battery pack, I'm talking like the entire, like, counterweight on the back of your helmet type of battery, which is cumbersome. And who knows how that will work in the cold? Like, that's their advertised thing, right? Like, and we put in a lot of time to go out and put these things to the test in the actual cold. And that changes things a lot. It changes when things get wet. So like, I don't know what the actual like real world, I can feel Jay cringing from the other side of the world right now. But I'm curious to see like what the hard testing is like on that stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. And I make no bones about the fact that like, as soon as I can figure out a way to find affordable solutions for students to either rent or or source NVGs like through a class, that's one of the classes that I want to do really bad is night zero night vision.
Yeah. Night zero. I like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just like,
That's
day zero, but not. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like just look at like optics and how far they've come in the past 20 years and then the past 40 years, and so I think in the future it's gonna be pretty badass what digital night vision can do.
That and the combination of hybrid night vision thermal is the game changer. Like overlaying those two things together is awesome. When you will be able to do that affordably in one unit that is, that will last all night, that's going to be the cost of entry for nighttime warfare. Like 100%.
And then how many different products could they make off of that too? Like, Bluetoothing the optic on your rifle to your unit and different things. Like there's a lot of cool stuff they could accomplish with that.
Rangefinders, that I think that's a huge market right now, is like the integration between like long distance and optics. Like, I got to go to a sniper competition at the Ben Franklin range in September, and seeing those guys work proficiently with these kind of integrated optics that have rangefinders right in the scope that give the based off of their dope, the bullet drop at different distances with environmentals all linked to a Kestrel, and like they were able to basically run up to a position, shoot 600-700 yards, all in like a 30-second setup time. It's like, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. And drones, detecting drones with your night vision. Like there's so much stuff that it's like, I mean, do you think it would actually end up beating analog night vision in the long run?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will 100%. The digital stuff will surpass it. I mean, it's essentially the film debate. Like people held on to film for so long because at a certain point the nostalgia factor held on, but like clearly at some point in like the 90s, digital technology surpassed and then it equaled and then eventually blew film way out of the water in terms of performance.
Yeah.
So that's what we're like. Analog, like regular night vision is analog. It doesn't require ones and zeros and dots and pixels and stuff, but it's super straightforward and nothing compares to it in terms of battery life right now. And robustness.
It's like in the future, dual tube analog will be like the carry handle.
Yeah.
Well, digital's got a long way to go to catch up on battery life.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like a long way to go.
Well, I think that's battery technology, honestly, because I don't think the consumption's going to go down, but the battery technology probably will go up.
As it stands now, like a lot of areas, they're close, and like in affordability, they're way lower. But we're talking like a dog sled, but not on snow, versus a Le Mans car when it comes to battery life. They are not comparable.
Yeah, like the fact that you can put a single AA lithium battery into a PVS 14 and have it last 40 plus hours. Like just the ability to carry that much electricity on you and not have to worry about like you can carry all the battery packs that you want in the world. But at a certain point, that's going to start, out or it's going to displace like essential gear.
Yep.
Like you can have a week's worth of batteries for a PVS 14 in a small, like,
in the PVS 14.
Yeah. Yeah. In the PVS 14, you've got 5 days worth of battery life.
And I know like nobody recommends rechargeables in a PVS 14. I don't even know why. But you can absolutely recharge via solar a week's worth of battery before the old battery runs out. Like that's pretty, like if you were trying to oh, I'll put a solar panel out so I can charge my digital stuff. Well, you'd have to have 6 batteries fully charged every day. So all day long, like you couldn't keep up. You can't charge fast enough to be able to use it.
For sure.
So that's the biggest their biggest problem right now. That little microsecond delay does make it hard to walk around, because your foot hits the ground before your eye sees it through the night vision. But that I think will get better. But the battery life I think is probably 15 years away.
Yeah.
And I picked 15, assuming the growth of battery technology is exponential, because battery technology today from 15 years ago has made a 0.0% increase. So
Really?
Nothing has gotten better in batteries in the last 15 years.
I don't know. I mean, the proliferation of lithium ion, I know it existed 15 years ago, but like it's pretty ubiquitous now. I'd like to have a pretty electricity dense battery.
Yes, the best battery on the planet now is available like it was 15 years ago.
Sure, yeah.
It's cheaper.
It's just more affordable. That's
but yeah, it hasn't, nobody's come out with anything that you're like, oh damn.
Right.
It's just it's the same thing. We're just making it more common. And I think there's got to be another step in there. I don't know what it is because I don't know shit all about where that market is. I'm sure there are electronic engineers and stuff that are got their finger on the pulse saying, oh, the next big thing is boron batteries or whatever. But I ain't heard nothing about it, so I just assume that if that comes out today, it's going to be a while before that works its way into availability for us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Well, that was a nice segue off of anything we really were going to talk about.
To answer Max's question, though, on whether or not the one I was referring to is the one they covered on T-Rex arms, yes, that's the one I was talking about. I forget what the model is, though, but he does a really good job on that channel. I'm just constantly impressed. Like the older brother. Although, is he really the older brother anymore? He's the only brother, I guess, now on T-Rex.
No, I think there's 5 of them.
Oh, there? Okay.
I was watching something and a video came on where people were talking about the drama at T-Rex Arms.
Yeah.
And it was I only watched a few minutes of it before I could finally get over there and change it. But the drama is crazy. And I assumed T-Rex Arms was going to cease to exist based off of no company has that much drama and then becomes successful or continues their success.
Yeah, their shorts popped up on my feed, and I looked at the comments, and it was bad.
And I was like, I don't really what's the other? It's not T-Rex Arms, because the brother that I like, and it's the same dude you like. He has the other channel.
Yeah, T-Rex Labs.
Yeah. The Arms, it was always about the skinny kid who just shot fast, and I was like, well, they better just stop that channel because they don't have a skinny kid that can shoot fast. So they should just stick with the Labs. I just couldn't remember the name off the top of my head. But I don't know if Labs is going to drive their business model like the skinny kid did. But yeah, full of drama. More drama than Sig has drama.
So, but the crazy part is there's been so much going on in the world that that has that was a big thing for a hot second, and then everything else changed. Can't even focus on that. When there's people being assassinated and
yeah.
Well,
the whole gun community on the internet right now is pretty much driven by drama. It's pretty embarrassing. And the biggest channels right now, that's what their whole thing is about, is debates over one thing that was said. It's funny because I've gotten challenged to you can come on my live stream by several people over a sentence. And it's I see I guarantee you the three of us have a bunch of shit we disagree with. In fact, we know some of the shit we disagree with, but we don't go like, you need to defend your position. Over like fucking what? Because I said when you get shot in the hand, you should be able to use the other one. Oh yeah, like fucking.
The gun community at large is a horrible group of people. The training community is a little better, but still not like this paragon of awesomeness. Like I've heard people say, "Oh, the training community, it's so like everybody is just so good and awesome to everyone else." And I was like, "What community are you looking at?" I've been in it for a little while, and it's got regular people in it, like the same mix we get everywhere else.
What drill do you think is the best to practice from Garrett? The one I like to say is tourniquet drills because no one fucking does those enough. So under 30 seconds without looking at it, correct application to anything. And then if it's to yourself while moving, like for an arm or something, obviously the leg is a little bit harder to keep moving.
That's pretty good.
I'd say the one that I've seen a lot of students and even myself, took me a long time to kind of hone in on this as like a good drill. Like, I don't know how to describe it exactly, but like almost like a Kim's game type drill with scans, because so many people fall into that like tactical pirouette, I call it. Like, hey, I see everyone turn 360 degrees and all I'm going to do is turn 360 degrees, right? So whether it's a simple act of somebody changing something behind you, moving something, holding up different hands, and sometimes it requires somebody to help you. But that drill is, and it's a non-shooting drill, but it's nobody does it. Like everyone thinks that they scan, but they have such a hard time grasping the concept that they actually need to look and process what's behind them when they're fighting.
Well, that and like people talk shit on guys doing the scans, like going through Wyatt protocol and everything, but at the same time, I gaffed off scanning at Red Zone, and Gary shot my dumb ass for it, when I would have seen him right there if I had even just done the thing where you stand there and turn in a full circle, And I was like, haven't been practicing that.
It's easy to fail on it. Like,
yeah,
I do it all the time because I'm on to the next thing. And like, there's a reason we do it. There's a reason it's there. Leroy is lurking.
Yeah, just because you smoke Curtis. I would say the one of the best drills I think to practice would be standing stationary and then changing that to a high-speed lateral movement.
I thought you were going to say, then drawing your gun and shooting 6 rounds really fast into an A zone.
Nope, pretty much wasn't going to say that, but yeah.
And getting that to under 2 seconds.
So I don't even call it getting off the X. I call it blasting off the X. Like your ability to, from wherever you're standing there, like, oh, I'm living my life, to now I need to be in motion so that I can get in this fight. People are really bad at that. I mean, myself included, but I think that change from stationary and mindless to, or what, even if it's mindful, to, oh, it is, now we're in a fight and I should not be standing here. I shouldn't have been standing here 30 seconds ago, but I was, so now I need to change it. People are generally very bad at that. So I think that is also, weirdly enough, another non-shooting drill. Like none of us had shooting drills as the drill we should practice, probably because shooting is a lot easier than people give it credit for.
Sam Russell asking whether the requirements for hosting a patrolling class. Basically, we need a big area that we can have a bunch of dudes walking around with guns where no one's going to freak out at that. And, having a classroom is super awesome. Having a bathroom is super awesome. That being said, we can improvise those. in separate areas.
Right in the classroom. We're already degenerating.
I think I'm like, sometimes when I see people pissing, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing pissing over there? Like, we're walking through there. No. That's like one of the few times I'll reference the Marine Corps is, I don't like it when people piss in the area where we're doing stuff. I'm like, go piss over there where no one's going to be putting their shoes in hands and stuff.
That actually is a block of instruction that we had in Wolverine Warfare. Andrew Jonathan did a section on hygiene, in the field hygiene. I'd like to think the dudes we had in that class were squared away enough to know to like, not poop in between their shelters, but
it's one of those things where like there is no such thing as common sense, so it should be said, and
yeah.
And I'm not saying anything bad about them. I'm saying we have all done retarded shit before.
Speaking of Wolverine Warfare and patrolling the homestead coming together,
what a very complimentary set of classes.
I hope and pray there are some alumni from that class coming to patrolling the homestead, because
there is at least one. I saw in the comments. Noah said he would be there.
Max is going to be there too.
Oh, good.
I think. Don't quote me on it. He's got shit going on. Legitimate. Like he deserves to do whatever he needs to do. But
he read me in on that last week.
Yeah, like it's rough. It's a rough spot. But like the just seeing, it's almost like patrolling with a large group of people is not an improvisational art form. Not really easy to do and figure out on the fly when it matters, right? Like you should probably practice it, maybe take some instruction a time or two from somebody who knows what they're doing. We found that out in Wolverine Warfare. And
I think patrolling the homestead sounded like a wonderful class for all of those people to take prior to Wolverine Warfare. Because I watched the clusterfuck that was patrolling.
I wasn't gonna say that, but I'm just saying it would definitely benefit, I think, a lot, me included, because like I don't know shit about fuck for patrolling like properly. We've kind of picked up on it a time or two because we go out and we patrol. Like sometimes you learn it by doing it, but if you don't have that at your disposal, you should probably rely on somebody teaching you how to do it. And why not both? Right. So like, I think that would be, I hope I will see some familiar faces there. And I know I'm going to be there diligently, even though I was one of the people that was helping facilitate and run Wolverine Warfare, I still need that.
I think everybody, I don't care if you were a LERP in Vietnam, like, hey, some more practice is never bad. So like everyone could benefit from doing it some more, especially under the watchful eye of an instructor who can say, hey, you thought you were doing this thing well and you're doing okay, but let me tell you where you can be better. Like that's what you pay an instructor to do.
Well, it's funny too, because like when I was first asked to put together a patrolling class, it was for Prepared Patriot in North Carolina.
Yep.
And like, yeah, we want a patrolling class. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? That's easy. And then he was like, well, just give me like a, kind of an outline. I'm like, all right. And I'm like, all right, well, yeah, we should probably make sure we go over this. And I was like, what's that fucking acronym again? Hang on, and then I was like, and now like the handout is 19 pages long.
Well, that's also how I started doing bug out classes. I was like, it's just going out in the woods and not dying. That's what people do. And then we had a bug out event, and I went, some of these people are struggling with that second part, that not dying. And there was a river rescue unit and stuff. So I was like, maybe this should be a class.
And
how hard can radios be, right? Like you get
yeah,
that
oh yeah,
Push
thing,
a button
you
and
push
tell
the
people what
button
you
on the
want.
side. Like you get it from Walmart, you take it out of the package, you talk to people, right? It works across the country, like they say on the movies.
like have you ever had the experience where you're teaching people tourniquets and it turns out doctors are the worst at applying a tourniquet?
I had an ER doc in class, and I was like, "Oh, like you're going to be the head medic." And he's like, "I think the paramedic should be the head medic." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "I haven't put a tourniquet on since med school." He goes, "I've cut them off, but the put them on." And the paramedic goes, "Oh, I put on like 6 this week." And I was like, well, I guess I never really thought about that. I was like, "But wait, I do have a question, doc." I said, "How do you, keep something from bleeding, like when the dude's on the table in front of you?" And he goes, "Oh, I point at it and say, 'Nurse, hold that.'" Oh, all right. Yeah. Well, I don't have one of those.
But
And then you
So I was like,
mentioned
I just need a nurse in my pocket.
you mentioned LERPs in Vietnam. One thing I recommend for everyone, and especially like if you can't make the class, there's a book called Across the Fence by John Stryker Meyer. He's been on like Jocko Willink. He's been on. He's done a bunch of stuff with tactical riflemen. That book is recommended reading for the Patrolling the Homestead class, and also like something to think about is like those dudes were in a place they shouldn't be, right? They were alone with pretty minimal radio communication, so they couldn't be picked up on. That book is fantastic. The experiences in it and the things that they learned about how they should be conducting their patrols. They talk about, doing tactical pauses like, stop, listen, look, smell, and stuff like that.
Yep.
And keeping dogs off their trail, like all sorts of great information.
That was a good book.
Yeah.
Is that going to be your book of the week that you recommend to Adam?
Yeah, that's what I would recommend. Especially if you guys are taking this class, I would definitely recommend it. And it's also on Audible if you're like me and can't look at a book and stay focused.
I have it on my Kindle. It is so there's a digital version as well. I think everything has a digital version.
There's also like if you're ever looking for a book and you can't find it on Audible, look for it on YouTube because a lot of people have just opened it up and read it for a video. Like Unintended Consequences has that. There's a bunch of anime pictures over it, but it's a dude reading the book.
Is it a bunch of like tentacle porn? Because the guy that wrote Unintended Consequences has a big rape fetish.
Really?
The book is a rape book. Like it's just a rape book with some old guns in it too. It is probably my least favorite book in the male genre of books. Like
really? You don't like it?
I gave my copy away, and I don't remember who I gave it to, and they were like, "What are with all the notes in the margins?" And I was like, "Well, if you read them, that's my thoughts on the book." And they're like, "None of them are positive." I'm like, "I'm aware." One of the few books I've like handwritten notes in the margins for. It wasn't just me highlighting something so I can find it later.
I never finished it. I was like, I got to the point where I wasn't able to focus, like listening even. So
I have a non-tactical oriented book that I just finished that I'm super I love the book. It's called Lights and Sirens by an author named Kevin Grange, about his it's his memoirs about going through paramedic school in Los Angeles and basically doing his preceptorship, or is it preceptorship or internship, whatever they call it when they have to go out in the field for like 4 months or whatever. It was great. Like if you're interested at all in the EMS stuff or like becoming a better medic, it's a really good starting place to kind of get a sense of like all the things that you have to learn in that field. But I'm like full on EMS world right now. Like I can't help it. Like I'm immersed.
Well, you should be. You should be. Like you're going through the training, like it should be at the forefront of what you're doing.
It is. So I'm actively trying to make sure I'm like listening or reading books that are in that, like, even if it's for a fun read. I actually moved on to his second book. It's called Wild Rescues. After he finished his internship, he went and became a national park ranger paramedic, which is very much like, man, if I could do it all over again, I would love to go be a park ranger saving people out in like the most beautiful places on earth. Like that sounds pretty awesome.
Yeah, but you might also get attacked by skinwalkers all the time.
Well, you know what? You could sometimes get attacked by skinwalkers just here in the regular part of the world too.
Yeah, but would you do that in like the Appalachian Mountains? Would you do it there?
I love the outdoors so much that I would jump at the chance if I could make it work with family and like have a sense of stability with like the life that I've created so far, to like do it in really anywhere where I could just be in a role that's like.
I hope everybody on this particular live chat would do that in the Appalachian Mountains because, well, we're all going to be patrolling the Appalachian Mountains in 10 days.
Right.
Oh, wait, I guess it goes through. I was talking about in the South, though. Like,
oh, it's the same mountain.
No one talks about like the scary Appalachian Mountains in PA. I never heard about that. I didn't even realize it went up there.
Were the scary things in the mountains of PA.
Yeah.
It goes all the way up to Maine, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. All the way up to Maine.
To Katahdin.
Yeah.
So I guess while we were on the books, I can give out my book of the week as well. I've used this book before, but I thought it was very relevant to shit that's coming up class-wise. Why won't that let me copy the... I guess I'll just do it this way with the old Control-C, Control-V. So I'll share a link because I was prepared. And it's an associate link. So if anyone buys the book, you know. But we're going back to Essential Wilderness Navigation by Craig Caudill. I think it was the first book of the week I ever did. But with the land nav class coming up in 3 days, it seemed like it tied in real well.
It's one of my favorite. I think it's one of the most well-written. It's not even just instructional, just well-written books in general. He is a joy to read.
Yes. He's also a joy to talk to.
Oh, I'm really hoping we make this class happen. We have it on the books. Like, everyone clear your calendars, keep a save the date on there. We're bringing them out here in May.
Is it on his website? Is there a spot I can sign up like right now?
No. So that's what I'm working on right now, is making sure that
because I was going to share the link.
I know. There will be a giant announcement as soon as he gives me the like, yes, it's live. I have it on the website, and it's like, apparently he's busy too. So yeah, May 2nd, May 1st through 3rd is like the tentative date to bring him up and have him teach his survival course.
So that is probably the only class I'm going to take next year as a student. So it needs to happen so that I don't have to find something else to take.
Right. Yeah.
Because I want to take that.
I'm super psyched for it. And the fact that Craig was interested in jumping on and bringing it up here. And because he's like, yeah, I loved teaching in PA when I went up to Sugarloaf. What God, was that 4 years ago, 3 years ago?
Yeah. What was he came twice in 1 year?
I think so. They were pretty short succession.
Yeah, a couple months apart, because we did the tracking class and it was awesome for a 1-day tracking class. And he said they're normally 2 days, but he was teaching for Fieldcraft. Like subcontracted from by them, and they wanted a day of tracking and a day of land nav. And then he came back and did the same thing again, like a day of tracking and a day of land nav. So when he came back, we went and did the land nav because we already took the tracking, and I felt bad. I actually felt during the intros, like hours later, kind of shitty, because it was like, oh, tell us who you are, what you do, why you're here. And I said, I paid $200 because I just wanted to hear Craig talk for another day, which kind of diminished the fact that he had a lot of great information to put out about land navs. But it didn't really matter what the class he was teaching. I was going to pay $200 and go take it. So I felt like I was like kind of poo-pooing his ability to teach navigation, and I was like, no, like it wasn't meant that way. But then I thought maybe it came across that way, and I'm such an idiot. And I mean, nothing came across as bad as Justin saying that his favorite pizza topping were cheese, like that he didn't like any. And I was like, all right, so that dude's a retard. I just am the guy who's an asshole. Yeah, so that was my book of the week. I also this week have an album of the week, and I know that Colt Manny's in here, so we will get to the album of the week as well, which I don't have a link for, but because like many of the books I've talked about, and as I continue to do these albums of the week, they will be ones that are out of print and you can't get anywhere because anybody can go find a review of like the Metallica Black album. So I'm going to give you like a different album that people are like, where the fuck can I get that? And I'm like, I don't know. If you find it, you should buy it. I guess I could just do the album of the week right now, huh?
Yeah, I was waiting for it.
So here it is. I'll see if I can't get it. No glare on it. It is Vimic, Vimic, Open Your Omen. So some of you may be aware of former Slipknot drummer Joey Jordison, who has passed away. He passed away right as they were finishing up recording that album. So that was his post-Slipknot band. And when he died, it kind of brought everything to a screeching halt, and his family kind of put together finishing that album, getting it engineered and mixed and all that and released. And so they did a Kickstarter thing, and my copy of it came yesterday. So I was listening to it today, and it's pretty fucking good. So that is, maybe I could type it in here since you can't really read it on the album cover. Vimic, Open Your Omen. It is got some spots where it's a little heavier like Slipknot and spots where it's a little catchier like Murder Dolls, both bands that Joey was involved with, but not like either one of those, but you can pick out those little bits of pieces. And the drumming in it is awesome because he is awesome. And so I was like, some of the drum beats, I was like, oh, that is like so Joey Jordison. And it was, it was good stuff. So that is my album of the week, Vimic, Open Your Omen. And Andrew, I don't know if they're what their religious persuasion is before you ask.
I
was real proud of myself that I shared a fucking Christian band with you the other day, who I haven't heard for years on XM and had no idea until like one of the DJs was like, oh, well, Christian band, Demon Hunter. And I was like,
you didn't? I didn't know they were a Christian band either. Jamie told me.
I had no idea. So I was like, no shit, I should tell Andrew. Because Andrew and I have talked about heavy music before, and they're pretty heavy. And I had no clue.
There's actually, I feel like an asshole because, oh yeah, okay. There's actually, and I think I sent you a bunch of their stuff. If like for guys who like death metal, one of the heaviest death metal bands is actually a Christian band called Impending Doom. But it's like, I don't know. It's like when you hear like Christian side by side with metal, or anything like that, it kind of sounds like, oh, it's going to be the weak version. It's not. Like their lyrics are actually pretty brutal. They're one that I got into recently. It's just been like weird because like since I started taking faith very seriously, I'm like, like one of my old favorite albums was Slayer's God Hates Us All. And I'm like, Jesus probably doesn't like me singing that, and it's like,
let's give Slayer the demerits where they deserve. Mm-hmm. They are not lyrical geniuses. They definitely get their message across. I'm not going to go, like whatever they're trying to say in their songs, you get the point. But it's almost exactly just the flip side of the coin from most Christian metal, and where it's like, this is Jesus loves me, yes he does. You don't have to say that to still put across the good Christian message. And most songs that people like, the lyrics have some ambiguity because people want to try and apply that to like their own experience.
Mhm.
So you could still give a good message, or in Slayer's case, an evil message, without just having to say, like reading a book. And then he laid on hands and raised the dead, or the opposite of, and then he put a hand grenade down her shirt, or, you could just kind of, still weave that ambiguity in there so that the good message people can apply to their own lives. And I think that's where one of the aspects that most Christian metal fails in, or I should say Christian rock in general. And, also Slayer fails in that as well. They have no ambiguity where I can apply that to anything I've ever lived.
Yeah. What's your favorite Slayer album?
Probably Seasons in the Abyss.
Yep. Good, correct answer. All right. Now, Mike, your answer.
Obviously, it's going to be Seasons in the Abyss. Is that
there
what
we go.
I
right.
never listen to Slayer.
Boo.
I love their logo, but
good answer. Almost.
Really? You like their logo, like from a graphic artist perspective?
It's great.
Yeah, like it's got, if I remember correctly, it's got like very straight lined, like
like that. There's nothing curved. It's just a bunch of straight lines overlaid to look like letters.
They're like this will be a good logo that people could carve with a blade into other stuff later.
It does do that very well. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not about, like, I don't know. I've got a pretty evolved view of aesthetics, like, being in an industry where I have to evaluate things based off of not personal, like, I can say, ooh, that really tickles my fancy, or versus like in my head, I can see the Slayer typography. So that to me says it's successful. Right.
Yeah.
Now, not the picture, but does anyone know what band I copied for my logo?
That is the Microsoft Office band called Impact.
Right. No. that is the font, but I copied it from a band. Gary, do you know?
That is Public Enemy.
Oh, they might use it, but no, I don't really know much Public Enemy stuff. I only like
Stormtroopers of Death.
Dying Fetus. I was listening to a lot of Dying Fetus at the time when I drew my logo. And they went to just a straight up, like they used to have the crazy death metal, lines. And then they just made it impact font. And I was like, that is so fucking hard like that. And then
it has such an impact.
But that was there's this YouTube channel called the Punk Rock MBA, and he came out with a t-shirt and it just said like edgy. It was a t-shirt in impact font. It just said like edgy lyrics in impact font, and it was like that was on the t-shirt just to make fun of all the deathcore shirts that came out in the early 2000s. And I was like, okay, that's kind of funny, and it kind of trolls my logo.
I wanted to make a Tremis Dynamic shirt at one point that looked like all the death metal logos, where it was like a pile of sticks just landed on the ground. And I was like, well, that's too hard for me to do. And then I just abandoned that whole plan.
I'm surprised I didn't get a call.
When I first thought about it, it was before you had done any artwork for me. So,
and I was wrong. It wasn't. What did I say before? The rap band. It was NWA. NWA, straight out of Compton. It looks like it's got that kind of like sans serif black and white font.
Oh, he's using big artsy words now.
Yeah, words have meaning.
What are your favorite rappers? Gary's cringing at that question.
Does Faith No More count?
Does it? No.
On the Real Thing album, he raps some of those lyrics.
I mean, this is super cliche, I guess, because I'm white, but I do enjoy Eminem
Yeah.
on occasion. Like, rap's not my thing, but the angry white guy, phase of my life in the late '90s, high schoolish, like his stuff, like it resonated. Same thing. Does Kid Rock count? Is he's like a rap rocker, right?
I think I don't know.
Can I pick Limp Bizkit?
Maybe. That's
Man,
rap.
I guess, but I'm like thinking a dude who just does rap. That's what I'm more thinking of. But if you just don't listen to guys who just do rap, then I get it.
Yeah, it wasn't really ever my.
I have a hard time listening to music that doesn't have a lot of guitar in it.
Mm-hmm.
And things that I listen to that aren't guitar centric are still strings, lots of strings. So like when people are like, oh, what about like more classic music, like like hard rock days? And I was like, oh yeah, I like some classic old things, but I don't like horns, but if it's got strings in it, I still dig it. And unfortunately, rap doesn't have any stringed instruments. And
they'll do like string synths sometimes pretty well. Mine is Dolph, though, young Dolph, but he's dead now, which sucks. What about? I was talking with Gary about it. I've been on a Mastodon kick lately. Are you into Mastodon at all, Mike?
Not really.
No, I think you would like them for their singing because you like singing.
I've heard of them, and I'm pretty sure. I can think of. Here's one of the things about me that I just wish wasn't true. Like I listen to music, but I have a absolutely terrible retention with like knowing who it is. I'll remember it and I'll be like, oh yeah, I like that song, but it's just I can't retain it. It's like names for me. I can't I'll meet somebody a million times and I'll still have to ask them their name. And it drives me nuts, but that's how my brain works at this point. So I try to find hacks around it. But the music stuff, it's just never I never focused on it. Some things it's just not my but I love music. I love playing it and playing guitar and
my hack is to become obsessive, which I know is going to shock you entirely that I got obsessive over something.
Yeah.
But I was having this discussion with Benjamin yesterday when Toxicity came out from System of a Down. Like I bought it the day it was released, and for 7 months, I did not hear another CD. Like at no point was there any other music I played than that one album over. And I was driving 20 hours a week, like a 10-hour ride to New England and on Sundays and a 10-hour ride back on Fridays. And that whole 10 hours was that album over and over again for 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
Does it drive you guys nuts if if your wife has the music on shuffle and you go to play an album or someone does that, where it's like, the next song on that album and it doesn't play the correct next song?
Before I started I would say before I started listening to Sirius, yes. Like the last note of one song, my mind started playing the next note of the next song.
If we're talking general shuffle, like, hey, I'm going to throw the iPod on. iPod. Jeez,
No, I'm talking for an album.
Okay, so if the shuffle's on for an album, no go. Like it needs to be in the order that it was produced. Like if it's just the album, if it's an artist, like if I'm listening to Metallica, I will put on Metallica Shuffle and just listen to all the Metallica songs because I don't need to hear all of them like in order. Because sometimes I don't know. So listening to a single album can get a little bit much, but sometimes I don't want to go outside of like a particular artist. So I love listening to Metallica and I'll be like, oh yeah, cool. Kill 'Em All. And then, Black Album and Reload. And I like going back and forth between those, but
Yeah, it's like the album was designed to be played in order.
Yes.
Don't fuck with that.
I have found like I too love listening to Metallica, and like I'll throw on whatever something from Ride the Lightning, and then I'm like, oh, you know what? Now I just want to hear all of Ride the Lightning.
Yep.
And I don't want to switch to Injustice for All until I'm done with Ride the Lightning.
I'll do that. Yeah, for sure.
All right,
And then when I get to Injustice for All, I usually I'll hit play, Blackened will play, and then I'll go back and start Blackened over and listen to it twice.
Yep.
And then the song Injustice for All will play, and I'll go back and listen to it twice. And I'm like, I just needed some more of that. It wasn't enough, which is weird because all those songs are like 11 minutes long. And then when it gets to Harvester of Sorrow, I'll play that like 7 times, and then I'll move on to The Shortest Straw and et cetera, et cetera. But it's sad I know the order of how those are supposed to be. It's my favorite Metallica album. So
okay, and then what's your favorite Metallica album, Mike?
So I'm gonna be controversial here. My favorite Metallica album is Reload.
Yay! That's an awesome Alice in Chains album. It's a shame that somebody else recorded it.
I'm a big fan of Metallica when they like post Black Album. Like, well, just Load and Reload are my favorite albums. But after that whole Saint Anger thing, that's just a no-go. Like, it went sharply off the cliff. Like real bad. They did redeem themselves though with Death Magnetic and Hardwired to Self-Destruct. Those were pretty good.
Honestly,
72 Seasons ain't bad either.
Which one?
72 Seasons, the new one.
The newest one?
Yep. It's not great, but it ain't bad.
Yeah.
For a bunch of like geriatric fellas.
It is funny, like thinking about like how old the heaviest guys are now. like literally Ozzy.
Yeah.
It's like, and at one point he was the craziest thing anyone had ever heard.
Yeah.
I can't even name for favorite Metallica album, I'd probably go Master of Puppets, but I'll be totally real on it. There's some songs I just would skip over. It's like there's some songs on pretty much every album. Well, I think I could listen to Kill 'Em All beginning to end because it's all pretty similar. But that's the Dave Mustaine album anyways,
Well, and all those albums are good. Like everything that Dave has touched.
All right. What's the best Megadeth album?
Absolutely Rust in Peace. Like nobody can argue that.
I never listened to Megadeth.
Yeah, I think I agree with Gary. Although I don't know the earlier ones, I don't know. It's hard.
Cells. Love Peace Cells.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until Countdown to Extinction that Dave Mustaine said, "Hey, we're going to have verses and choruses," because prior to that, like on the first 4 albums, there were verses, and that was it. Like at no point was there like a set of lyrics that was repeated multiple times in a song, and I really appreciated that because I always felt like while a chorus can be catchy, it's like, well, that's like lazy writing. They just went back to that same part again. Okay.
I will say Megadeth is bar none the best visual branding of any band. Like I love all the Megadeth albums. Never listened to them, but like I mean, from an art standpoint, I love all those.
Dude, you would be well served to just listen to Megadeth albums and just start at the first one and continue on.
Yeah, I'm sure I would, especially as I get older, there's things where I'm like, I just haven't listened. Like I never gave that thing enough time. But now I'm also at the point where I'm like, I already like what I like.
Is there an album for you guys that like the first time you heard it, you didn't like it, and now you do like it, but it took you like 10 years to like it?
There's got to be something that fits that for me.
For me, it was Wrath by Lamb of God. It took me forever to like it. And it was mostly because the guitar tone was like, I don't know, it wasn't the same, like kind of like how after God Hates Us All, Slayer's guitar tone, like that was like the top tone they ever had. And then when the next album, Christ Illusions, the tone was just different. Like the songs were like the guitar and shit was all good. It was just the tone had changed. And it was like they were trying to make it more clear. Like I swear to God, there was a period of time where people were like, no, we got to push mids in the mix. And it ruined guitar tone. It's like, you saw what Dime did, right? Like, just fucking copy that, everyone.
Well, if everyone could, they would have.
Well, it's not that hard. Just go with mids.
Well, he also ran, did not run tube amps. They were all solid state, and nobody wanted to not have a tube amp.
Yeah, that's true.
And you know what's interesting is like you look at all the different movements in metal music, and you're like, hey, this is the new thing, and then everybody kind of does whatever that new thing is. And then Dimebag said, hey, this is a new way to play guitar, and here we are 35 years later, and nobody else does it.
Yeah, well, I think the tone, I mean, I don't know. His tone he always had a unique tone. The style, you couldn't like there was too much mojo in his style to truly copy. Whereas like you get there's some 41 songs that you can totally tell are ripping off Metallica, you know. But I don't know, is there an album that took you forever to like?
An album, probably End of Heartache by Killswitch. Like when I was younger, I did not like heavy. Like that wasn't my thing. Like screaming. Like I grew up on Billy Joel, man. Like that's my jam. Like I love me some Billy Joel, and hell, even Elton John, and like, you know, kind of like that soft rock. That's what my mom listened to. So I loved all that stuff. But then I started getting into Metallica when I was getting a bit older, and, you know, kind of found the rock stuff and like grunge, like 90s rock. I loved all that stuff. And then what, like metal was one of those things I kind of rebelled against. I'm like, that's just nonsense. It's there's no melody to it. And like Killswitch hit, and I'd heard them a few times, and like they had that pretty, like Howard, like he was very recognizable from like a voice, right? Like just like that, like just screaming all the time. And then I don't know, at a certain point, probably within the last 10 years or so, I just kept listening, and then like wound up loving that. Like they're my favorite band right now. Like I love Killswitch Engage.
So that's funny too, because like End of Heartache, was that with the black dude?
Yeah, Howard Jones.
Okay, yeah. So like when that was first coming out, I was super into deathcore, and I rejected it because it wasn't heavy enough. But recently I started liking it, and I gave it a fair chance, and I was like, I'm kind of being a FUD right now, you know. And I was like, let me give it a chance. And I was like, you know what, there's some good shit in this, some good riffs, and I can appreciate it now, you know. And now I actually dig it.
I've gotten heavier as I gotten older. Like so album wise, I can't say that because I don't listen to an album from this band at all, really, ever. However, Rage Against the Machine has become one of those things that, like, I used to hate them.
That's a rap band for sure. Yeah. That's a rap band.
I used to hate them when I was growing up, and I was like, man, I love these Matrix movies, but why did they have to ruin it with the soundtrack? And it took me a long time, but now I find myself like listening to mix and, like, you know, radio stations and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, you gotta do what they told you. Like, and I'm like, what the hell happened to me? Like, all of a sudden I'm like liking Rage Against the Machine. I still think Tom Morello is way over the top. Like, I liked him way more in Audio Slave, right? Like, he toned himself down in that and actually just played good guitar instead of making the craziest noises all the time that he possibly can. Like that's
Well,
what I feel Rage Against the Machine
you
is.
got to look at what he had to work with.
I know, yeah.
Because Chris Cornell could carry a song with no guitar.
Yeah, literally could just sing a cappella and it'd be the voice.
The Zach guy that just talks through songs. Like if you didn't have Tom Morello doing something crazy, it would just be a Lou Reed album.
You're right.
A guy talking over some music.
Speaking of Lou Reed, that album that Metallica did with him, that was the worst thing.
So I've only heard one
about
song
Lou
from
Reed.
I've heard one song off that album that they have played on the Maximum Metallica channel on Sirius. And when it started, I was like, the fuck is that? Because anytime they played a non-Metallica song, somebody from Metallica, one of the four guys, was in there saying, hey, you guys should check out this Jethro Tull song because it's cool. Or, whatever they were like, I grew up on this and I loved it. You should like it too. And then this song came on. I was like, well, that's not a Metallica song. And nobody from Metallica introduced it. The fuck is it? So I go look and I was like, it's off of Lulu. I know when I like trying to hit the button and it just turned the volume up and
fail.
It's like one of those dreams, where you can't run because your feet are stuck in mud.
Okay. Have you guys experienced it? And have you heard from students experiencing it, having a dream where your gun doesn't work?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Did it go away yet?
No.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, I can describe exactly how the trigger feels in my nightmare.
Same.
Uh-huh.
If you go out and buy a DeWalt metal stapler, that sensation that it has where you just feel like you're traveling on the spring, not the carbon fiber stapler, that one has a sweet trigger. The metal one, it just feels like you're pushing for days and days and days until it's gonna push through the other side of the stapler, and then finally it goes pakong. But like that sensation of just mashing on that thing and having all the travel, that's exactly what it feels like in every one of my nightmares.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mine is super heavy, and like in my dream, I'll push it and nothing will happen. Like it's got to go further, and I end up like pointing into the back of the gun, like trying to get it to go that little bit more, and it still won't go.
Yep. So I used to. All right, now I'll preface this saying like I don't think like you guys would have been way better off. Like right now, you guys right now in my position when I got in my first gunfight, you guys would do way better. So I'm not like being like I got in a gunfight. I don't fucking care about that. But after I had my first gunfight, then my gun worked in my dreams. And so talking with other people about this, I have heard from one guy who said after he took the fight, his gun worked in his dreams. So potentially after force on force. But for me, it was after my gun, or actually after being in an actual gunfight, then my gun worked. But before that, either the gun fell apart as I'm trying to shoot the guy or nothing was happening. Or one time it felt exactly like this toy gun I had when I was a kid that shot out like a little BB. It was like a $5 toy. It wasn't even an airsoft gun. And it went into the guy and a little bit of blood came out. And he went, the fuck is that? And I was like, and I did more. Nothing worked. But I find that's an interesting one to me. And I want to actually ask more people.
I'm interested in the fellow that spent a couple days with a sim gun and afterwards his gun worked in his dream, because like every time I fuck around with a sim gun, I'm like, yeah, man, I gotta learn to use a sword. These guns never work.
Yeah. What about gun shoots, but the bullets were like pellets? That's how my gun felt in my dream, and then it came out as little pellets. That's exactly what I had.
I remember having a dream when I was younger where like trying to get away from like whoever the people were with rifles, like it was like, the North Korean army or whatever the fuck. And I crawled into a tank and was like, aha, they won't be able to just shoot me dead and I can drive this out of here. And instead of a steering wheel or any type of levers, it was a pile of rubber bands and you had to know how to pull them and twist them to make the tank go. I woke up in a fucking like cold sweat.
I mean, while we're sharing nightmares, I remember growing up, I had a recurring nightmare of like I'd be sitting on the couch where like against the back wall of the house, and like I'd have to sit there absolutely still and not move an inch because there was a Tyrannosaurus Rex sleeping behind the house, and their vision was obviously based on movement, right? So that would he would break through the house and eat me. So
was this
just like
post
lunch
Jurassic
ladies.
Park?
it was 100% post Jurassic Park, which I saw when I was 10 years old. My dad took me to the movies and I ran out screaming. Not a proud moment, but hey, you know what? I was 10.
Dude, when I was a kid, Signs came out, and
Yep.
my mom was like, "Hey, I'm gonna take you to the movies." And I'm like, "What movie?" And she's like, "Oh, it's like an alien movie." I'm like, "That's scary as hell." No. And she's like, "No, we're gonna go see the movie." So we went and saw it. Obviously, fingers under the door, plus thing walking past trauma.
Dude, when Joaquin Phoenix was in the closet and he jumped back
Yeah.
in real life, like I watched it as an adult, like on DVD, and I jumped back and was like, "How did he do that? That fucker!"
But then when we got back from the movie theater, all the lights were off in the house. My stepdad's car was at the house, and I'm walking through, and I'm like, a fucking alien's about to jump out. And this was the time my stepdad wanted to jump out and scare me. So he went, "Ah!" And dude, I was fucking crying like a bitch. I was so scared. And he had no idea. He just like, oh, they're out somewhere, you know, like, cause like they didn't even fucking have cell phones, you know.
So what you're saying is, if I see you walking around with a super soaker, it's because you're still reliving the movie Signs.
Possible attachments.
I got a Pig 9 with a super soaker mounted under the barrel.
Hey, side note, we need to figure out how to put some crop circles in Mount Carmel.
Yeah, well, we're heading out there this weekend, so maybe we should leave a couple.
Well, I have a different theory on aliens now. I don't think I should get into it on the live stream, but
not after an hour and a half. Not
I know.
I will be out there all day Friday putting up control points.
Okay, sweet.
For land nav. This one, notice it has the ammo supply warehouse is one of the codes that you would find on it. It also has a dick on the back. I don't know if you can see that. And
not
really.
There
It shows up.
That little guy.
Peter McDickens, that's what I like to call that little fella.
Well, we should mention the nav class.
Well, that was one of it was on my notes way back in the beginning, and we just blew right past
an hour and a half ago when we started this thing. But yeah, navigation dynamics, right?
Yes, happening this week.
This weekend in Mount Carmel. I'm sure for all the 4 people that are still listening, who probably just forgot to close their browser window.
I've been telling everyone if they sign up for this class, I will throw in day 3 navigation, which isn't until November, but I will throw it in for free.
It's the best deal you could possibly imagine. Like, no ammo cost, life skill. Like, hey,
you don't even need gear.
I look
like
at this,
we'll loan you compasses and protractors. Like you get a set of protractors in the class, so.
Right? It's essentially like, in my opinion, on the same level as swimming. Like you should know how to do this, like to live your life, right? Just in case, because you may not want to go swimming, you may not want to find yourself lost in the woods, but you should really, know how to do both. No cost. 3 days of instruction for $200.
Like it's a ripoff for us. Like
it
we're getting
sure is. I'm not denying that.
We're getting hosed.
But we just need people to come do stuff and train, because that's really hard lately.
Yeah, and the people are like, it's so expensive. Money is so tight. All right, how about 3 days of training for $200? And there's no consumable cost. Like, I don't know what else to do to make it cost less.
The thing is, I have a theory, and it's not, cost is often associated with a hard thing that it's definitive, right? You can't argue with it. Now, I'm not saying cost isn't the factor or kind of like the end result, but I think really it's time, which often translates to money, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, if I go take this class, I can't use my time to then make money, which I need for the other things, right?
Yep.
But I've taken the approach of trying to give away training for free for anybody that, you know, has said, oh, I can't take it because it's too expensive. Okay, well, what if I remove the cost? I don't know if I can really commit to it. Like that's I've heard that several times. So
Yeah.
I wish it was as simple as money, because then we could just lower our prices to nothing and have people come out and be fulfilled, I guess, like, and just do it for free. But that's not the case. Like, the simple matter is that there is something that is not driving people to feel like it is a necessary thing to prioritize, in my opinion.
The thing that I think it is there's not enough tragedy to cause urgency, like, because, look at how many dudes were going to classes, in 2020, how many people were buying guns. So it's basically like there are things that make violence real to people. And then when that's not in their face, it's not real to them, like if there was, it's sad to say, but if there were more riots, if there were more power outages, if there were more bad things happening, that would cause a sense of urgency, like like people got in fist fights over toilet paper a few years ago.
Yep.
And it's, one thing I think about too, because I remember when that happened, I just handed my wife cash. And I went, get us a bunch of toilet paper, any products that you need, and stock up on general things that we'll probably need. And it was right before like COVID started freaking out, because I knew toilet paper was going to run out. That's literally why I said to do it. And then like a week or two later, toilet paper was out, and people were fist fighting over it. And so like when people saw the riots going on after George Floyd, that caused a sense of urgency for people. And, and it's like, it's crazy too, because you'll talk to some people. Like my mom had her house robbed twice, still didn't want to buy a gun, and I'm like, and had also had, and this is right on the border of the hood of North Minneapolis, Robbinsdale. Then there's North Minneapolis. And so literally like when I did a ride along, we went from my house down the block, less than 6 blocks, and they were arresting a dude for murder, right? And, had people casing the house, like knocking on the door, and then when they see someone coming, then they run away, they're like, and been broken into twice, still no urgency to take violence seriously, so sometimes it takes like more. And we can also think about, sometimes it's a tragic event that happens, but it's kind of like, what reality are people living in? Because if they're living in right now, things are calm, then they don't feel that sense of urgency. And I think that's the mistake a lot of people make.
I think that is a factor, 100%. Like there's the external factors drive the training and the firearms industry, like with clockwork. Like you can set your watch to it in terms of, oh, a Democrat gets in office on year 3, they start making claims about how they're going to make executive orders about, restricting firearms. All of a sudden, everyone starts buying guns.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, we have some sort of domestic disturbance. They start deploying National Guard troops. All of a sudden, everybody cares about training, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those things we can't control. My question is, and I was trying to have this conversation with a group of people earlier, and I really like it is so good to have like groups that you can talk to. It's like, how do we make people value that sense of community, because in my opinion, that's really what people were looking for. They felt scared. And the thing that drew them together was people. That's why people train. Or let's put it this way. That's why people come back to training. The first class I have not been able to unlock. Like that is, some magical formula that, like, I think the best person to ever do it was James Yeager, in terms of putting himself out there and giving information and having a certain magnetism that made people think, right? So that aside, forget the new people thing for right now. Why aren't people coming back to training? Well, I don't know if it's because the community is drifting apart, or if the community is drifting apart because people aren't coming around training. Like that is that needs to be solved, because at the end of the day, that's why I stuck around. Like that's what made me keep coming back, was you guys, was the people, was like, a group of people that are encouraging me to move to Pennsylvania, people that called me brother. And I was like, I've only ever done that with people that are like I grew up with, and then like to be accepted into a community. So how we need to tap back into that, and like we need to show people that it's like the value of training isn't necessarily in just the curriculum or in just the personality delivering it. It's in the experience of doing it. People don't have that anymore. They don't get a sense that it's worth their time. I want to crack that like no other. Like that is the thing. How we do that, I think that's what we need to put our heads together about. Like,
that makes sense. I see what you're saying.
Yep, I agree.
Sorry to get deep.
It's okay. Well, somebody had to get deep at some point and not just talk about Slayer albums.
Yeah.
Like almost 2 hours now. So like we got to punch out of here sooner or later. So we had to get like something quality in the middle of this.
A little gem for the people that stick around to the end.
We should put a coupon code in there too.
Yeah.
I don't know for what. I don't have one ready, but whatever.
But we got, there's training opportunities coming, like low cost, or as it's as affordable and as attainable and available than I have ever seen it here in Pennsylvania. So at least we're doing that. Like the fact that we have trainers coming up here, the fact that like classes cost less than they did 4 or 5 years ago. There's a plethora of it here. So the options are endless. It's just figuring out what we can do to motivate people. But you've got classes coming up here. Gary's got classes, that we're teaching together. I've got classes I've just put on the calendar over the next few months. Like we're trying to crack it. Hopefully people, pick up what we're putting down,
Yeah, I hope that, like, because I was thinking about that too, like the community. One thing, like talking to Kayla, Attack Response, she was like, the camaraderie was awesome at the summit. So I'm thinking if we do more stuff like that, like if we can do more collaborative, more event type things, I think that will help bring it in. And that was one thing,
like a festival, like a music festival.
Yeah.
Like all your bands are there. They all play a short set. Like it's awesome. It's real good for getting should be real good for getting the big crowd to come in.
Yeah, that's from a strategic standpoint. That's really where I want to go with Bulletin, is like some sort of alternative to the, not even just a practical training type thing, but like SHOT Show or NRA Show is like a mecca of people coming together for guns, right? Like just the gun industry. We don't have that for training,
right?
We have some people that are doing a really good job at it. Like hell, even the a circle that I'm not super connected with, the Tom Givens group, they have RangeCon, I think it's called, or TacCon. That seems to do a really good job. Don's doing his thing with the Night Vision Summit. Like, we have people putting their heads together, trying to pull people together. But, what is that thing, that kind of centralized thing that's pulling it together from not just a class standpoint, but from an industry, like a community standpoint. I think again, coming back to the community stuff, something that like I'm hoping to kind of really hone in on.
I think one thing with that is the values, like, because Jaeger did a good job of that. Like, I remember when I first started watching Jaeger, seeing a video of a dude on the internet telling me to illegally carry my gun because that's the right thing to do. I was like, whoa. And I was like, he just said that. And that was a value thing. And that was one thing that, like, I felt well communicated from him. When I look at Barrel and Hatchet, their Christian values are heavily communicated. So I think that's one thing that we need to focus on. That's like one thing I've done a couple videos on. I want to do more on. One I recorded the other day, and I'm like, oh shit, I think I took it too far. I don't think I'll post that one.
You took something too far? Huh.
But for instance, I did the Stop the Calls to Violence because, like, after Charlie Kirk died, then the fucking most incompetent people are out there trying to, like, instigate more. And I'm like, what are you going to do?
Mhm.
Like, what's your plan? Are you going to go shoot all the Democrats? That's your fucking plan, And so communicating values, pointing out, like, the wrong things that are happening, as far as, like, culturally, and being like, this is not right. That's not what we should be doing. And giving a good direction on what we should be doing. Because there's lots of values we all share, but, like, how well do we communicate that to the general public? And I think that's one big thing that is probably the thing that will make people want to come in as, like, new people too.
Very well could be. We've seen that, with speaking truth and being, and being charismatic and telling it like it is. Like that resonates with a lot of people.
Mm-hmm. Oh, quick question, because I got a comment. I blocked the dude because I don't argue with people in the comments anymore. You both carry SIGs, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Would you agree that if you suck at shooting a Glock, that just means you suck at shooting?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Nobody dislikes Glock more than me. I shoot a Glock fine.
I had to think about it for a second. I mean, like, we literally did a drill 2 days ago where, like, we were running a Viceroy at the master class, and my SIG ran dry. And instead of running back to my car to start stuffing mags in the middle of a drill, somebody handed me a Glock. I'm like, okay. So I just run over and, did the thing, put the thing on the thing, do the thing. Like, okay. Yeah, you like, it's, I don't need my gun.
Yeah.
I need a gun.
Yeah. I used to tell people when they talked about, like, what they needed to do to their gun. Well, I changed this and I like it better with that, or whatever, whatever their thing was. My argument, or my dialogue with them, I guess, was, I will take your advice when you can shoot your gun, whatever you do to it, better than I can shoot your gun. And you just hand it to me and I'll shoot it better than you. When that doesn't happen, now we can start talking about what you like with your guns.
Yeah. I had done a video being like, all the people who say that Glocks are hard to shoot, they just suck at shooting. That's all it is. And that guy was like, well, I have friends that can shoot 1911s and 320s and blah, 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 but they struggle with a Glock. So you're wrong. I'm like, no, that doesn't make me fucking wrong. All right.
I struggle with a Glock. I struggle to like the gun I'm shooting, but I don't struggle with shooting it.
Yeah, like if you're like, because, well, you shouldn't, like, we can't discount the idea that comfortability is a huge factor in performance. Right?
Yeah, sure.
We're not talking about, like, actual ergonomic comfortability. I'm talking about, like, anxiety comfortable, like, am I comfortable shooting this thing? That is a performance enhancing thing when you give somebody the comfort factor of, yes, you can do this. And if that gun does it for them, well, they're looking at the wrong thing to gain that comfort, but it doesn't mean that it's not working for them. Unfortunately, it means that they've also now skewed their perception of what is influencing them. Their confidence is being raised by their capability, not the item.
They're just attributing it to the wrong thing.
Right.
Like there is definitely a psychological thing going on there, and it isn't, oh, when I have this one thing, I get this bonus from the psychological bonus. It's no, when you don't have that thing, you have a psychological negative to everything else.
Exactly.
You don't get a bonus from psychology, but you can certainly get a penalty from psychology. So guys are like, I can't shoot this thing or that caliber or whatever. That's just them hurting themselves when they don't have that one thing that they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That one thing isn't actually any better. It's just everything else is worse because they force that inside their head. They're too emotional.
Mm-hmm. Oh, guys with guns are emotional.
Who knew?
They certainly are very tender.
Yeah.
One could say they often get triggered.
All
right. What else we got to talk about? We're 2 hours in.
I figured I'd add the triggered guy up there in the corner.
Because I'm tying up my wife's bedroom here.
Yeah. I'm tired. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. All right.
So there you go. A bunch of classes coming up. There are links in the descriptions and like a bunch of different stuff was going across the bottom of the ticker tape. And Andrew will be here in a little over a week. And Mike and I are going to be teaching in a couple of days. So we all should get out there and come hang out in Mount Carmel with all of us. Get some training and stuff.
And you should check out all the classes that we're teaching at bulletin.net.
I should have a link for that somewhere too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got a video I'm going to be posting with the bulletin guys shortly.
What's that?
I have a video I'm going to be posting on my channel with.
Oh, right. Yeah, from
the guys from bulletin. Yeah.
I remember once Andrew took a class from me and he said, him and Jay were in the class. He goes, we're going to film an after action review like Wednesday. And I was like, cool. That was like 2.5 years ago.
That's Jay's fault.
It is easy to blame Jay. All right. So I guess that's a good wrap up for us all. And all you guys that hung out, stayed here the whole time.
Yes.
Thanks so much for.
Thank you, Jason.
He's awesome. Jason Hedrick is pretty cool. All right. So you all take it easy out there and we'll see you in a week. Hey, if Andrew gets here in time, he can do the live stream from here with us. But if he doesn't, he's not in town in time, then whatever. Fuck it.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm going to leave Tuesday. So I'm going to try to.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Ashley didn't realize it was a 2-day drive. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, what? I thought, I was like, you need to look at the map. You need a land navigation class.
Not the driver. Like,
yeah.
I've driven from Orlando to Williamsport, which is a little further away than I am, straight, and it was horrific. And 22 hours of being in the car, it was not doable. It never happened again.
Andrew, all you have to do is tell Ashley that like the rest of all the drive is like Kentucky. Like mountains, there's roads, it's not flat like Florida. She'll be like, oh, you know what? Take as much time as you need.
All right, so that's that. And for everybody watching, take it easy and we'll see you.